Hi y'all! It's been a while since I have done a video, actually a year, but I actually have a few questions. I'm on my last year of law school, finally, but as of 2014, Ecuador has had a variety of changes within its legislation. One of its major changes has been our criminal law and our whole criminal system for that matter. We have a new criminal code altogether. We knocked out the old one and have come up with a new one, and it's going to be actually put in place. It was published in February, but it's going to actually be applicable from August of 2014. So it's like in less than a month. We're in July. And one of the major questions that arose from this code, among many other questions, is the criminal liability of legal persons. So, can a corporation be criminally liable under the law? And it's a question that I have for those who are in countries like the U.S., where I know, or I think the federal law does allow for corporations to be criminally liable. And I guess they've put it in place. To be honest with you, I don't know very much about that matter. I do know that now it's conceived in the norm, and if it were to be put in place, I don't know what the consequences would be, because how does a legal person commit a crime if not the individual within that legal person? So it would be one of its members of the corporation, or one of its it would be just one of the members of the corporation, and so it would be a person. In the end, there's a person, a physical, natural person that commits the crime, and that person will be held accountable, because the way in Article 49, where it's actually conceived, where the norm conceives it in our new criminal code, it's and contemplates two different types of liabilities. The personal liability, meaning the natural person that actually makes the act, or commits the criminal act, or presumptively criminal, and the corporation that benefited from said act. So I don't know how do you distinguish between the person that actually commits the crime and the corporation committing the crime. And if there is such a thing as a corporation being held liable, then how do you go about punishing it? Because our norm perceives punishments, but they are economic ones, and so you come to a point where you make a question of, was a criminal norm necessary to punish these acts, or is civil law enough for the federal government to pursue fraud within certain corporations, fraud of the law, meaning trying to deceive the norm, trying to deceive the government through made-up corporations to pursue criminal acts, which is one thing. So is it possible to sanction them with the norms that already existed and were in place, or do you really need to criminalize the act because of international and organized crime? Do you really need to criminalize and make corporations, legal persons, criminally liable? To be honest with you, I really don't understand, and I would love if somebody out there knows a little bit more about the subject and could actually explain it. The way it is set up right now in Ecuador is it's very broad. The way they established it, it's any act or omission that it is committed through a corporation that benefits itself, its members, or a third party. So the corporation doesn't have to at all even benefit from the said criminal act or transaction. It just has to be part of it. It has to be involved. And so you come to a question where, how do you pursue this? How do you prove the intent of the corporation, which is a fictional entity, in committing the crime? There is no subjective force that promotes this entity because it's fictional. It's not a person. A person has an inner state. A person can think, can actually conceive an intent and pursue on said intent. But can a corporation do that? And how would you prove said intent of the corporation, aside from the responsibility that the individual may or may not have? And so it is truly a very, very honest question that I have for all of you out there. If anybody can help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it. If you are actually studying criminal law or know criminal law within the states, or have any knowledge whatsoever on material that I could read on criminal liability of legal persons, I would greatly appreciate if you give me a link for that. I'm actually trying to do a thesis on it here in Ecuador, how it would be our system and how it would be applied within our system. But I have a lot of questions. I'm still within the research. And so, thank you. Bye.